Hi, Jimmy. Very, very warm welcome to you in this nice cold evening. It started raining outside, so it's
Yes,
wonderful. Welcome to the finer side, Matka Chai. This is a
thank you,
special
Prithvi.
series. We call it the Master Series. Uh, we are all masters in whatever we do. That's a good belief to be with.
Yes, correct. We believe
We
that we
believe
are.
that we are masters and we
Yeah,
take a task ahead and do something. So yes, uh, this Matka Chai started because offline events were cut off,
yeah,
lockdown. I'm sure you were more closer to this COVID than any of us rather here because you have gone through that first journey. And
yeah,
today if I see you happy smiling, I'm so happy to see
yeah.
that. Yeah. So let's talk about you, Jimmy. Tell us a little about what you started as. I know you have a theater background. Do a lot of theater. So
Yeah.
tell us about your college days, the younger days.
So I actually studied in St. Joseph's Arts and Science College. Okay. I did physics, maths, and computer science. It was a triple major. Ah, sounds so good to say triple major and all of that. So this is many years ago. Okay, this is when the college was actually on Residency Road,
Okay.
and now it has moved to Shantinagar. But this the college used to be on Residency Road, and that time, we were a notorious bunch in class. I used to I you know just come out of school like feeling like rebel and all of that. So to take panga with the teachers and get quite screwed also. So the and of course the bunking, going to
Yeah,
Rex nearby, go watch
Rex
movies,
Plaza.
Plaza, correct, all of
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
uh so college was pretty much a lot of extracurricular activities, and I love being in college for that because I love participating in these extra, so debates, elocutions, dumb charades, you name it, and we had a team and we'd go and participate. It was our way to legally bunk college in that sense. I remember this story once. We had tests starting on Monday, and there was a festival that was happening in Trivandrum, in a
Wow.
Trivandrum college. Okay,
Okay.
a college fest, intercollegiate fest. We wanted to go for it, but our principal didn't give us permission. We said no problem, we'll pay ourselves. We didn't tell the principal that we were going, and five of us, our team, we took a bus and we went there. When we reached the college, we realized that what Kerala is famous for, strikes, that there
Yeah.
was a strike and the fest was cancelled.
Oh
and
my God.
they and they told us, hey, but we sent the information to your principal saying that it has been cancelled.
Oh, you guys
I
didn't
was
even
like,
check. Obviously,
oh,
you're not told.
yeah, we've not told the principal, and we've gone. So we went. Then we said, okay, now what do we do? So we loafed around the day because and we rebooked our tickets to come back that night, and we went and watched Die Hard. The movie had
Okay.
just released. It was the
Okay.
most expensive film we'd seen, I think. You
All the way
know,
to
all
Trivandrum
the
and
Trivandrum
see a movie.
come back. Now we said, okay, we'll keep quiet about this. Won't tell anybody about this. The Trivandrum college sent an apology to the principal
Oh
saying,
my
"We are
God.
sorry that your students came for the festival. We are really
Oh
sorry that
shit.
this." So the principal called. A principal obviously knew, like it was a Sunni, so called and said, "Okay, so you went for the festival." So yeah, so college days were fun, yeah, and it was I, I think a large part of my college was that just being part of this cultural team, taking part in cultural events and stuff like that. And I think uh, that's where my interest has been for a very long time. Just performance and entertainment, and just yeah, it's been in that space for a very long time, as long as I can remember, actually.
So, I mean, I'm sure college days, there was so much of opportunities to go on stage, get small groups together, do mad ads, do skits. I know music, largely, I'm sure you must have been part of a music team or a band. I don't know. No, no
No
chance.
chance. I cannot hold a tune. when I was in school, and this goes back to my trauma in school. When I was in school, I wanted to sing. I used to get on stage and like sing, and I used to sing really badly. My music teacher told me in the fifth standard, Jimmy, you sing with a lot of feel, but you don't sing in tune. So don't sing, she said to me. And from then on, that trauma, so deep rooted, that trauma is said no, no singing, cannot hold a tune.
Yeah. I totally understand. I totally understand because I used to go trekking, and you know how in the trekking groups you generally sit around the bonfire and sing, and they
Ah,
used to call me news reader. They'll say, news reader Hadel Tariga. So I totally out of tune, and probably the voice also.
yeah, which by the way now has, well, I know people will hate me for this, some lovers of the genre, but it's kind of rap, right? News reading.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
there's a genre called rap. Yeah,
There's a lot of feeling also in it. So you can
yeah.
create
Oh yeah,
feelings now, you know.
right,
So I
right.
have my favorite, which when somebody says, "Why didn't you do this? You know, why didn't you go there?" I'll say, if I go there, then I hear a voice in my voice. ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಪೃಥ್ವಿ ಬನ್ವಾಸಿ ಅವರು ನೋಡಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರಿ what will you do? So that warrant kind of a thing is scary. Well,
Right.
okay. So from your college, you didn't pursue into science. I'm sure
No, I did. I
all those
did. In
you
fact,
did.
I did my masters in computer applications. I did my MCA.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I went to Pondicherry University. So here's what happened. After I finished my college, my degree, that is, my graduation, I applied through some of the exams. I didn't get through, so I took a year's break to prepare again, and I did some of the exams. I went to Pondicherry University. I went. The interview was on the following day, so I went the day before, and I went there, and it was beautiful, you know. So
Yeah.
it was beautifully lit up, and I was like, I there was a very strong possibility that I would get into NIT, NITE, no, NIT was it? NIT
NIE.
also, NIE, yeah, no,
Nitte
Surathkal.
is the, yeah,
No, not
Surathkal, no?
NITE. Surathkal. There's I forget now, forgotten that also. Anyway, so I wanted to do my master's in computer applications. I fell in love with the university. When I went there in the evening, so I said, here only. If I get here, means I'm taking this only. So that's where I did my master's in Pondicherry University. The university was across the road from the university was the beach.
Yeah.
So it was a picnic. It was beautiful.
Perfect.
I loved
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. So,
In
but
fact,
actually, it's very. Tell me. Tell me.
in fact, after the 2.5 years, in your last half year, you're supposed to do a project in a company or somewhere. I said, don't want. I'll do it in the university only. University, you give me some project to do. I'll do it here only. Here only.
It's more relaxed to be there. And,
Yeah.
yeah. Pondi is a place where we all love to go, and I mean, I'm
Correct.
sure that this weekend the tolls are all packed. I took
Yeah.
25 minutes to cross one nice junction.
Oh.
Horrible. I think everybody's headed out. Everybody. So how will the third wave come? When you open
Like
it
when
up,
they come back.
people will go and they come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Crazy. I don't know when people will understand, but anyway, that is how it's going to be. Yes, but you know what is very encouraging for me? A lot of people who are going to watch this now or later are going to have a hope saying that in spite of doing a professional course, you can still manage to live your dreams, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, and I guess probably you were one of those street smart talkers and, you give back. Was there something like that?
No, man. I wish.
No. Okay.
No. I
Somehow there
Yeah.
is this thing saying that if you have been a very talkative person in college, you will end up doing RJ kind of a thing. I don't
Oh
know. It's
no.
probably a myth.
If well about being an RJ, it's not only being talkative. There is a very large part of being creative as well. Because when I go on air every day, uh, there is this. I have to be entertaining.
Yeah.
I can't just talk.
Yeah.
There are limits. Like for example, when I turn the mic on, I shouldn't ideally speak for more than 80 to 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Anything more than that, people get bored with short
Yeah.
attention span. So
Yeah.
can I therefore see when I take a piece of news or piece and any article, it's easy for me to go on and on about it. But the
Mm.
challenge comes when you have to, like, just crunch it down and
Yeah.
deliver it in 60, 70 seconds. So you have your, and also add your point of view to it. I mean, like, what makes that piece of content uh Jimmy's piece of content, right? Because I mean, now if you
I
look at, if you
No, no,
look at
I'm
content
going to
journalism.
get into the interview part of the RJ a bit later. I
Okay,
was
okay.
trying to figure out whether in college you have been one of those who have been witty, have been able to speak up, not hold back.
Yeah, yeah. As in, yeah, pretty spoken, like, yeah, speak up and all. However, I'm not particularly good at coming up with stuff on the spot.
Huh.
I am more the
Got
guy
it.
who prepares.
Yeah. Okay.
I am more the guy who will do research and who will prep and then present.
Yeah. Right. I totally get that because I have a counterpart at home who will not touch the mic without having entire research done and entire
Right,
preparation of what she needs to talk
right,
about. So
right.
absolutely. Uh, from that, did you get into a job?
Yeah. I did. So, in fact, we had placements in the university, campus placements. I got two job offers. One was this company called Aztec, and the other was with this company called Satyam, both in
Yeah.
Bangalore. Uh, Unfortunately, those jobs didn't come through because that was the time when the dot com bubble burst.
Oh,
So
okay.
this was in 2000, right?
2000. Yeah.
So yeah, so the dot com bubble burst, and then jobs were hard to come by. So I joined a small little firm called Services, and I think I worked with them for 9 months, and out of the 9 months, 5 months I didn't get paid.
Oh,
So
wow.
then I said, don't want, I can't do this
Yeah.
anymore. I need to earn some money. So I left the organization and I started freelancing. That's when radio happened. So I started doing all India radio, some shows over there. I started writing for the Hindu. I used to do some feature articles for the Hindu. Then because I had a MCA background, I started developing websites for a few people, working on websites and content and stuff like that. So uh, that was how that's how I started earning some money, and then I got my job with radio.
I was chatting with Melody. I'm sure.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. She also said she's worked with you in Fever and
Yes, yes, yes.
quite some time and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice. Uh, Two things. After this stint, I know that I met you through theater.
Yes.
So tell us more about that Jugad that you started this Jugad company.
So, okay, so this I started theater in 98. Okay. And the reason I started theater was because all the hot chicks were in theater. I was like, I want to be part of this. I want to be there.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh and I said, I want to get in as well. Uh but I know uh I'm not going to get a role immediately. So I said, let's start from backstage. So I started working backstage. And I said, whenever there's an opportunity somewhere, I'll try and sneak in and see, like, someone is unwell and I have to read for them, like someone has to fill in, right? So then I'll do that. And like that, slowly I'll get a role, I thought.
Yeah.
Then I got my first role also, and I was very bad at it. I sucked so badly. I think it took me about 8 or 9 years to understand what it meant to be on stage and act and be a character. It took me a long time to understand it. And So that's when I got my first really big role in 2002. So I'd moved to Chennai and to start my radio career in private radio, and that's when I met this group called Avam in
Yeah.
Chennai,
Evam, Karthik. Yeah.
and that's when I got my first really big role, so to speak. And From then, so now, well, I can say that I've been doing theater for about 23 years or so. starting from
Wow.
backstage
Yeah.
in 98. My in 2012, so I mean, I never really thought I'd start my own company and in nothing like that. And then in 2012 or 2013, the Short and Sweet Theatre Festival came to Bangalore,
Yeah.
which was this festival of 10-minute plays. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
and uh, and to register, you needed to be part of some group. So
Yeah.
then my wife and I said, "Hey, come on, let's do." So that's how Jugaad started,
Okay.
and we said, let's put out a couple of 10-minute plays in this. So we did that year. Then we did the next year. Then we said, "Hey, if we're doing well, we're enjoying this. Why stick only to the theater festival? Let's try and do our own plays as well."
Place. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how then we moved on to doing full length plays as well.
Which are the
uh,
prominent plays that you have done? I mean,
we
from
haven't
Jugaad.
done we haven't done too many. We've the most, I mean, in terms of returns, the most profitable one was the kids play that we did, which was The Day the Crayons Quit. We I think we've done about close to 35, 37 shows, and almost
Wow.
all of them have been sold out shows.
Wow. Nice. Yeah.
And we've traveled to, I think, 3 or 4 cities and done that. So that's been our most profitable play in that sense. We've done a couple of others as well. We've done one Neil Simon play, chapter 2 we did really well. We did another play called Animals Out of Paper, which was that was beautiful for us as a process, because what we did was it had an origami instructor in the play who was one of
Oh,
the
nice.
protagonists. So for that play, we did almost close to 150, 200 pieces of origami we made for stage.
Wow. So
We
what
had
an
these
amazing process it must have been.
yeah, it was beautiful. We were creating
Amazing.
these huge pieces for the backdrop, and there was this really large eagle made from origami hanging in the center of stage. So we that just creating that play was so much joy.
Oh, I'd
Uh,
love to. I'd love to collaborate on this someday
yeah,
and do
sure,
something
sure,
at the
sure.
final side. It sounds,
Yeah, yeah,
the process sounds amazing.
yeah, it
You
was.
learn
Yeah,
so
it
much.
was,
You put it.
it was. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everything is going to be a good learning experience for that. Yes, let's do that.
Yeah. So for
Yeah.
Jugaad, basically, my wife and me, Anna and me, have started Jugaad company, and Anna is primarily the director, so she directs
Okay.
all of the plays that we do.
Good. And then radio.
Yeah.
How did radio actually come in? Because I know once in a way there are some audition calls and things like that. So how did you get into it?
So when I came, I was in Pondicherry, and some there was this thought in my head that radio, because that time when I went 98, when I went to do my MCA, there was the station called World Space, Indigo and World Space. Okay, and I had heard them, and I
Yeah,
said,
I
"Hey,
know.
that sounds interesting. I'd like to be part of radio someday." Then in 2000, actually, Radio City launched in Bangalore, and at that time I was in Pondicherry, and
Yeah.
I hadn't finished my course yet. When I came back, the first thing I did was to call them, and I called Radio City. And I remember this was somewhere from Indiranagar. I called from an from a
Public booth.
payphone. Yeah,
STD,
public
STD
booth,
booths. Yeah.
STD booth, correct. I called
Yeah.
them and I spoke to them. They said, "Listen, we are full up. We don't have any vacancies right now. When there are vacancies, we'll let you know." I was like, "Okay." So then All India Radio happened, and when I was in All India Radio, Radio Mirchi had come to Bangalore to do auditions for their Bombay and Chennai teams. uh,
Okay.
so I was doing my show in All India Radio when my mother and a friend of hers came to the studio to tell me, "Hey Jimmy, auditions are happening, go for it." So I said, "Okay,
Okay.
cool, I'll go." The auditions were happening in Indiranagar. I went there, I did the auditions, I got through. Now, when I got through the auditions, they offered me, they said, "You can either go to Bombay or you can go to Chennai. You tell us where you want to go." So Bombay had already launched at that time, Chennai hadn't launched. So I said, "I'll go to Chennai because I think one, I'm part of a launch team. So I think the learnings will be
Yeah.
a lot more. Two, it's closer to home. And three, most importantly, my girlfriend was in Chennai. So at that time. So I said, all of these I will go to Chennai. So that's how I hit to.
All boxes were ticked, I guess.
Yeah. So that's how I landed up in Chennai, and unfortunately, so at the time that I was hired, we were supposed to go 75% English talk, and
Okay.
25% Tamil, and we were doing our
Ah,
pilots and all of that. But 2 weeks before launch, the company realized that that strategy was incorrect, and for Tamil especially, you needed to go 100% Tamil and talk.
hmm.
So then all the RJs who had been hired were hired keeping in mind that they were English RJs. And so that entire lineup had to be changed. And two
Changed.
weeks before launch, the entire lineup changed, and I moved into a back end role. So I wasn't going to be a front end. I wasn't going to be a jock. I was going to be back end. But I kept that dream of, for me, I wanted to be on air. And so this happened in 2002. In 2006, I got the opportunity to go on air with Fever. So I was hosting the morning show there. It was a double jockey. With Fever, I joined. Fiona and I used to do the
Yeah.
morning show,
No, no,
and
I
then
remember.
my luck was that in 1.5 years, Fever also said we are going to turn 100% Kannada. So
Oh,
so then we didn't need Kannada speaking jobs. So then I was like, oh no, this is chasing me everywhere I am going. This vernacular thing. So then fortunately I got a call back from Mirchi saying, hey, do you want to come back? So I said, yeah, I'd love to. So I went and joined Mirchi again, and I think it's taken what the dream of being an RJ started in 2000 something. I finally got my full-fledged own show in 2016. It took me
okay.
16 years to get that show. Uh,
Wow.
and I think, for me, I think that's been more or less how even theater and even radio is, that I had to wait. I had to wait for a while before I got what I really wanted.
Uh, you said something which I have to point out. This show, what we are doing, and every time I talk to somebody, this is exactly what we need to give to the world today. Today's youngsters don't have the patience to wait. They want everything instant. Everything, I've seen so many people in theater, so many people to pick any work they're doing. They need to jump one day stage theater, next day they want to be in serial.
Yeah,
Oh man, I'm not, what am I doing? I'm just being backstage. Wait, 16 years, whether it's, I've spoken to Dr. Sontake, I've spoken to so many people. Everybody said, my first break came 16 years later, 17 years later. I was recognized at that time. It's so
yeah,
difficult that people don't seem to understand that what you're good at, stick to doing it. You will achieve it. You will definitely reach some space.
yeah. But Prithvi, the thing is, the fact of the matter is that uh, we grew up in a time where things were much slower. The pace at which things are moving now is far more, like, I mean,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
just the simplest thing, like my wife and I were discussing this just a few weeks ago, where we love to read books, but my daughter doesn't enjoy reading a book
Reading
because
books.
it's
Yeah.
because it's boring.
Okay.
You have to read from the top to the bottom, you have to turn the page and then read the next page. Whereas when you're on a phone,
You just
you're
scroll.
instant, it's just instant,
Yeah.
everything is instant,
Yeah,
your
that instant gratification. Yeah.
yeah. And I that's the reality of today's
Today.
world.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
therefore that need to, like, everything has to be like quick, you
Yeah.
know uh, but I
Absolutely.
guess
Absolutely.
it doesn't come. Some people are lucky, some people are not. You just have to wait.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for us, it was paratas with toppings, something on top. Now you have from Domino's, you have this, that pizza, Pizza Hut. There's so many choices that even children are confused. Rather than confused, I'll say they want options. They, even when you tell your child, do this, they ask you, if not what? What other thing? Is there a
Yeah,
choice? So
yeah.
I think, yeah, that is the time. Today's time is like that. I totally am with you. Yes, continue with your story of RJ.
Yeah, so uh y- it again, it the story is this, that I was in another organization when Radio Mirchi bought the second frequency. So Radio Mirchi already has one frequency, it's
Yes.
98.3, which is the
Mm,
Kannada frequency,
yeah.
and bought another frequency, which is the frequency
90,
that I am part of,
95.
which is 95, right?
95. Yeah.
uh, I was with another organization, and this was the second time I had gone out of Mirchi. uh, and I got back to them and I said, "Listen, you're launching of radio station. This has been my dream. I am going to make myself available for hire. I am quitting my current job, and I will make myself available for hire." And you know, it's there is an organization is going to think multiple times before hiring you back again, right? Because
Yeah.
you've
Yeah.
left twice and gone. I said, I don't care. I know, but I am going to quit my job. And I took that risk. I quit the organization that I was working for. And I said, no matter how long it takes, I'm going to keep like bothering you and nagging you till you hire me back to do the morning show
Yeah.
on this frequency.
Yeah.
This is my home. Radio Mirchi is my home. The morning show, Bangalore City, is my home, and the morning show is what you had hired me for
Yeah.
14 years ago, and that didn't happen. I'm coming back and saying, "Hey, give it to me now in this city." So I
And they gave it to you
that from the
because
time
every morning when we were at the bus stop, we were listening to you.
they did, but it came a year later. So I
Okay.
quit, and I quit sometime in November 2015, and I was hired in October 2016
Wow, 1 year
in Mirchi.
almost. Yeah.
Yes, so
Yeah.
so for almost a year, I said, I continued believing that you would hire me. Uh, be- I don't know. There was just this belief that I would get it,
Get
and
it. Yeah.
yeah, I quit my that job, and I was freelancing, trying to get some money in, and that's a hustle, trying to figure
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
on a
Yeah.
freelance basis where is the money going to come from, right?
Yeah.
So
And you
you
had a
have
job and you left that job, so you will
yeah.
have 100 guns on you. Yeah.
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 Fortunately,
Yeah.
fortunately there was a lot of support. My wife was extremely supportive, so she said, "Yeah, yeah, of course, quit, and we'll figure things out." So yeah.
Good. I remember because we had a bus stop, and my son used to love listening to you and the songs also that you choose. And he used to leave a little early so that we can sit in the car till the bus comes so that he can
So
listen.
sweet, so
So
sweet.
once I told him, I know Jimmy. He says, "You really know him? Can I speak to him?" I said, "I'll find out whether I can take you to the studio and make you meet him."
Yeah,
He said,
yeah,
"Oh, I'd love to
absolutely,
do that
absolutely.
and things like that." So now he's 18, and now he's doing his own, editing and things like that. Yeah, he's there.
Oh,
Someday I'll probably bring him. Someday I'll probably bring him. He's also into
yeah.
theater, so which
Oh,
is
nice, nice, nice.
I would like him to meet a lot of people like you. It inspires because it is not that you need to do a single thing as a career. If you have a dream and if you have a passion, I think it is wonderful to go into. Okay, I have another question. As an RJ, you get to meet a lot of celebrities interviews. Do you do?
Yes, I mean, the celeb. I meet a lot of Bangalore people. Yes.
Huh. So who's the person who you have probably till now been happy meeting?
Oh, I've met some wonderful people. I've met people doing amazing, amazing work. Especially during the pandemic, the last two waves. Just uh, I was amazed at how every day I was able to find someone to put on air. Someone who's doing amazing work. I think in the second wave, during the second wave, close to almost 60 odd people I've put on air who were just helping in some form or the other. There were of course the bigger ones like the Mercy Mission and Humankind
Yeah.
Global and all of those guys. There were also like really small ones like the Arzu Foundation who just came up with this idea saying, hey, you know what, people are cured and they have a bunch of things lying at home that they don't need anymore, and someone else can use it, so get in touch with us, we'll pick it up and we'll ensure the people who need it get it.
Such a
you
nice
know
thing to do, yeah, instead of throwing it, yeah.
yeah. So it's just I've met I mean, I'm so blessed that I've, because of the nature of the job, I was able to shine a light on these people doing such fabulous work. And also, I mean, nobody's expecting anything in return. It's just saying, hey, we need to do something, we need to help, what can we do? And you find
True.
different ways to help people, getting on cycles and going and delivering food. This
Yeah.
was the relief riders. Then someone who started making food in her kitchen for people who had COVID, suddenly realizing that, hey, there are so many people doing this, but it's so unorganized that it's difficult to access. People are just putting
Yeah.
it up on their Instagram stories. So she got together with a friend and created a website called covidmeals.in. And
Yeah.
within a couple of days, there were 300 people who were, she became a sort of an aggregator. So it's just the regular people coming together. And then there were other people doing innovations during this time, like figuring out how to convert shipping containers to extension ICU units. you know
Yeah.
uh, it's amazing. It's amazing the number of people and the kind of people I've met because of the job that I do.
Yeah, I think just to fill you in, because I don't know how much you know, we have uh, the finer side itself as of now, since the last 1.5 months, has been a vaccination center.
Yeah, I've
Every
seen all your
Saturday,
posts. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
every Saturday we have. So with the change makers of Kanakpura Road, now we have almost covered 11,000 people,
Amazing. I mean,
11,000
yeah.
people in that place, and it's amazing. We've also had the BBMP come in after seeing the space and said, can you give it to us? We'll do a free vaccination drive. So we had 1,300 people 2 Sundays ago. It's
Lovely,
amazing to,
lovely.
it's so happy to see people.
Yeah,
On
yeah,
that
yeah.
account, I will want to show you and the others what the finer side is all about. Let's
Yep.
just watch this.
ನನಗಿವತ್ತು ತುಂಬ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಆಡಿಟೋರಿಯಂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಬಹಳ ಒಂದು ಖುಷಿ ಕೊಡೋ ವಿಷಯ.
Wonderful to see this venue come alive. The sound was great, acoustics were great. Thanks a lot to the finer side.
I mean, what can I say about this place? It's such an inspiration for all artists like me, and I feel like coming and again and performing here.
Great place, great vibe, great people. ಈ ಜಾಗ ಈ ತರ ಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿ ಬೆಳಲಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಆಶಿಸ್ತೀನಿ.
ಬಹಳ ದಿನಗಳಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಜಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆ ಜಾಗದ ಹೆಸರು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ದಿ ಫೈನರ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ತುಂಬಾ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗನ ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
This beautiful auditorium, it's very inspiring to see how it has been designed for the sake of arts. So it's always nice to be here at the finer side.
Very nice.
Well, that's our space, and it's so open and airy that a lot of people would love to come. And the vaccinations have been going on fine. Today we had almost about 450 people who came in for the co-vaccine and stuff.
Right. Super.
Uh, we also have a small kitchen which we have opened it out for quarantined people who are
Okay.
mostly like the bachelors. I started it for the artists who are many of them who have come from their hometowns and who are sitting here and who don't have food. So we have made sure that it reached them, kind of a thing, till a while, and now we are back to this. So
Right.
online, this activity is to keep us alive and say that don't worry, hope is there. If not the third wave, fourth wave, some wave is going to stop someday. We don't know, but
Well,
yes, lots to do.
I think it's important because you brought this up that there are. I mean, you speak to the experts, you speak to the virologists. They'll tell you there's going to be multiple waves, right? Now, the only way to protect yourself is to get vaccinated. I mean, it's the only way to get to be able to like go back to some sort of normalcy.
Normalcy, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, everybody should just go get the shot.
So I think urban is still fine, but a lot of rural places we're still having the difficulty of people not being convinced of it. So as a radio person whose reach is much farther, uh, have the stations done something to ensure that from their end there is some kind of education or awareness that it is perfectly fine to go and get vaccinated?
Constantly. In fact, we're running a campaign on air called "The Shot Is Hot," and we've got multiple experts coming on air to talk about it and why it's important to get this thing. The thing is that our reach is Bangalore and just maybe on the outskirts of Bangalore. It's not
Yeah,
really, you know,
the
the
two
rural
interiors.
village.
Yeah,
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 it's not that. So in terms of you know, we're looking at what we're looking at about 99 lakh people in Bangalore to get vaccinated. And currently we're at about 58 lakhs, I think 58, 59 lakhs. There's still about 40 lakh people to get vaccinated, and I know people myself who have vaccine hesitancy. They're like, no, we don't want to get the shot because, you know, we've read about these stories and people falling ill and adverse side effects and all of that. uh, and as much, you know, it's like saying I'm not going to get on a flight because there have been crashes before.
yeah.
You know,
Pretty tough.
that's
Yeah.
that's the way I look at it. uh so I, in my way, I'm trying to convince the people that I know that, hey, listen, please go get the shot. But there are some people who just don't, who they're just adamant about it and saying, no, we're not going to get the shot because we're scared. So yeah, that's the, I mean, and this, these are people who unfortunately I think have access to too much information. So that's one side of the spectrum. The other side of the spectrum is people who have too little information and they're getting a lot of misinformation.
Yeah.
So, you know, between the two of them, I don't know whether we'll hit those 99 lakhs, but I'm hoping that we do very soon.
Yeah, I'm also hoping because I don't even want to look into WhatsApp nowadays, with the kind of theories that are coming in, the
Yeah,
experts
yeah.
speak, and there is analysis and there is numbers and uh, nasal drop coming, which is going to cure corona. And, you have so many things that keep coming on. And I don't know, I'm just sticking to these posts in my Shubhadina and say that, okay, let's all be happy. Nothing
Correct.
else to forward as of now. Okay,
Yeah.
so in terms of, let me say, if in case there is a next step from RJ, what are the possibilities? This is an open question because I would like to have a lot of people know that there are opportunities beyond that, if there are.
But it's, see, here's the question, right? And I'll answer this question by saying, would you ever ask Amitabh Bachchan what is next after acting? What is the higher thing
Okay,
after
got the
acting?
answer.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
and I think that I have been in the managerial roles, right? I've been a programming head, I've been a zonal programming head, I've headed the South for programming. I've done all of those roles. But at the at the core of it, I want to be on air. I want to I want to be on air, entertain people, make them smile. uh, right? And for me, I think these two these two paths are different. When you It's not logical for an RJ to become a programming head,
Yeah.
and it's not because it's a completely different set of skills, right? Just because you're a good actor doesn't mean you'll become a good director, right? Because
Yeah.
uh, they're two different skill sets. As an actor, you're only thinking about what your role is. As a director, you have to have the vision about the entire thing. So that's more or less my answer. That you probably become better at what you're doing. You become a legend. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably a pinnacle when you look at it to reach that height.
Yeah,
And
where you
you're so busy. I mean, you become so busy that you don't really need to think of anything else. I'm asking a question where, let's say, can I start a radio station?
Yes, you can, but it's extremely expensive at this point.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can start a you can
Leaving the
start a
money apart.
community radio.
Huh.
Huh. You can start a community radio station by reaching out to the government. But you start a private FM channel, it requires really deep pockets.
Yeah.
And yeah, and you unless you have that kind of money, you can't buy a frequency.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but that's the reality.
Reality. Yeah.
In terms of, if you keep the money aside, can you start a radio station? Yeah, you get the right people on board, you can start a radio station.
So that is one part of it. Yeah, I understand that. I'm only looking at what careers are there, what are the next opportunities. Uh, I have another thought which probably we would like to explore in the final side. There are a lot of aspirants who want to become RJs. So I'm sure there already must be a lot of training spaces. Are you aware of such training spaces?
I'm not.
No.
I don't think currently there are
Formal.
any formal training spaces for radio. There are in mass comm. In multiple colleges have mass comm as part of their course. As part of that, there is radio is a part of it, right? So you'll probably have a few hours dedicated to radio, but radio as a course in itself, at this point, I don't think there are any.
So
Yeah,
that's a
there
good
are any.
opportunity.
Yeah, it's an option. Yes, true.
It's a
It
wonderful
is.
opportunity if you have to explore. And because today I was just in a meeting where there is somebody who wants to start a beauty course with a low budget, where there's a lot of middle class people who can get in and learn, because the number of barber shops have reduced, the number of saloons have increased, the number of spas have increased, so the
Right.
chains and the brands have come in. So obviously, if tomorrow you want to be a skilled person, hands on, you have to have a lot of skill, and along with that soft skill, along with that peripheral skill, all these things become important. So I'm sure, like you said, it's not just about talking, right? It's about being creative, knowing when you have to stop, knowing when you have to add something to keep something going. There's a
Yeah.
lot more to it that is there. Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah. The thing is that you also have to realize that the space that you're fighting for is very, very small. Just look at the space that you're looking at. Okay, you have 8 radio stations currently in Bangalore, and from an RJ's perspective, each radio station has an average 5 RJs. So in the city of Bangalore, you probably have only 40 radio jockeys, and unless someone quits or dies, that space doesn't open up.
Yeah. So how's the retention in this?
Uh, Retention is pretty high.
Pretty high?
You, yeah, yeah. You're not
At
finding
least a
people
minimum of 3 to 4 years.
easily. I mean, well, not three to
Easily.
four years, 2.5, yeah, 2.5 to 3, yeah, 2.5 minimum.
Yeah, I know many RJs who have become actors. You
Yeah, yeah,
know,
yeah.
yeah. I think Mirchi itself has wonderful actors now, the RJs. So yes, it's nice. It's nice to know that you can use your skill of talking and use your skill of meeting people, networking to the next level also.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
mean, it does open up. Like for example, see, this is Bangalore, okay. But I know that the in Bangalore, the the openings are limited in that where you can go, right? Whereas if you look at it, if you look at a Chennai and a Mumbai, where these are the production hubs when you look at films and ads and stuff
Yeah,
like that,
yeah,
the opportunities are far more in terms of being able to explore other media.
yeah. So that brings me to another question. You do live shows?
Yeah, yeah,
In
yeah.
the sense, not in the studio, you go out at an event. Not that there's been an event in the last 2 years, but
Yeah, yeah. So Mirchi, one of the arms of Mirchi is to do live shows. So
yes.
either concerts or comedy or stand-up comedy and that kind of thing. So yeah.
So tell us a little about that, because that's very interesting, because most of us think that radio jockey is somebody who's sitting with a nice setup, which we have seen Vidya Balan sit on, kind of a
No,
thing. So
the setup is like that. It is a very
yeah,
nice setup. It's a very nice, cozy, comfortable setup. Um, but the thing is that a few years ago that might have been true, where we said that you know on radio you need to be heard, not seen. But with the way social media has come in
exploded.
and
Yeah,
exploded now, like in our own company, the 60% of my KRAs is actually social media, 40% is radio, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
there is no more sit in one place and do your show.
yeah,
you s- that is one part of your job. You sit in one
yeah,
place and do your show, but then you have to find different ways of putting other content out as well,
yeah.
and content that is relevant to other media.
No, that is still a desk job. I'm talking about going out to a concert or a show and being live with people, uh, with
Yeah,
your headphones, and it's not that it's an office, it's a cozy office room. You're there in public, and
oh, you're
everybody
singing,
wants to. Yeah, I'm talking about going out there and doing a
doing a
show.
show from outside. Ah, okay, okay.
Yes,
Okay, correct. So that's what you're talking about. I mean, it's not too different. What the in terms of, if you're comfortable talking to people, like for example, I talk to people on the phone. I don't see them, but it's almost like we know each other,
yeah,
right? So the moment someone calls, they say hi Jimmy, I say hi, what's up? It's
yeah,
like we're friends. And
yeah.
I think that when I go on ground and do a show from on ground, it's just that. I mean, people coming in there are saying hi to you. You say they're strangers, but you know that there is some level, there is some
Comfort
comfort
level.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah, there is some comfort level because you've either heard me on air or something like that would have happened. So, in that sense, I think uh, for me, I'm very comfortable talking to people. I enjoy talking to people.
yeah.
So that's a plus for me, I guess.
So the parallel I'm trying to draw in my head is, you've seen actors on stage or in films, so you know them by face and name. But when it is in radio, you hear Jimmy a lot. And until I explore into your social media, I don't know how you look.
Yes,
You're still an image in my head. Yeah. So
correct.
when I see you in a public space and I'm in proximity to you, so where I can come and reach out to you, I will come. I will say hi, Jimmy. That's how it's going to be. I'm sure you would have found a lot of people coming to you like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The difference between an actor playing a role is,
Celebrity. Yeah.
an actor is playing a role in his or her movie.
Yeah.
I am not playing a role when I'm on air. I
You're
am
doing
me
your
on
job.
air.
Yeah.
I am me
Yeah.
as a
You
human
on
being.
your. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
There's
because
no put on. There's no script.
I'm not playing a character. Because if I
Yeah.
were to play, if I have to do this day in and day out for 5 hours every day, 6 days a week, I can't I can't put on a character. It's very, very difficult. I have to be as closest to me as possible. So
Correct.
what you hear on the air and what you meet outside, it'll be very similar.
So while you were on a call with somebody, has somebody offended you?
You know, not really. I mean, the thing is that at one, not offended, but someone got really upset once when we were doing some campaign on air, and I took them on air, and like I almost took them apart uh, on air, because it was, it was a topic about women being molested in Bangalore city. And this guy was like, why are you bringing the name of Bangalore city down? What you're
Wow.
saying is not true. Women hardly get molested. And I was like, are you like, what?
Yeah, I get your data.
Are you not in sync with reality? So
Yeah,
but otherwise, I think that, see, the 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 persona that I am on air uh, is almost fanatically positive, right? I'm looking to be positive on air with everything that I do. And I think that kind of attracts that kind of people as well,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So very rarely do I get someone who trolls me or offends me, or it's very rarely does that happen.
Yeah, that's one thing. On a larger perspective, I've seen very minimal trolls on RJs, which is a major gift for the industry. They don't really take you guys on and rip you apart everywhere.
No,
As
it
much as
depends. It
the
depends.
actors get done. Yeah,
No, it depends on what you're saying also. See,
yeah, yeah. Obviously,
actors, yeah. The thing is that, the actors are larger than life. Your RJs are almost like your people next door,
yeah,
in terms of personality, in terms of the space that we occupy. We are far more accessible, right? I mean, we may be mini celebrities, so to speak, but we're far more accessible than your actors. So and also the actors get a lot of hate and and get trolled a lot, because there is a certain, I'm envious of you.
yeah. I
I
get
I
it. Yeah.
want to take you down. I want to take you down. Like, why are you up there? Whereas
Why are you up there?
RJs are generally not up there.
Yeah.
We're far more
I get it.
accessible.
I get it. So we have 6 minutes left, and I'm going to ask you. Please give your message to all our listeners now and later who will come. See, the reason why we don't talk about COVID here is there is enough of conversation that happened there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
we have a question quickly. Mr. Rakshit Hangal from Goa is asking
Hi,
what kind
Rakshit.
of preparation to go before going live on air in terms of topics. Rakshit, you're very late. This question should have been about 10 minutes ago.
No, Rakshit, I've actually worked with Rakshit. We used to work in MIRCHY
Oh,
together many years ago. So
okay.
he started off only when we started off. He's like, hey, Jimmy, you hardly
Yeah.
changed. Yes. So what kind of preparation? Basically saying, see, there are two types of people that are listening to you: one who has heard the content, one who hasn't heard the content, because content is now available freely to everybody, and everybody is pulling content. So for the person who does not have access to the content, just by me giving that piece of content, I've added value to their life,
Yeah.
right? But very often it's people who have access to the content, so then I have to give something along with it that will entertain. And one of my favorite examples is this: the education minister of Haryana once said that cows inhale and exhale oxygen. Okay.
Mm.
uh, and I was like, he's the education minister, like, what
Yeah.
is he saying, right?
Yeah.
So I went on air, and what I said was this. So first of all, he's the education minister, so him saying this is like, I'm like, how has he gotten to be education minister? Second is, what I'd like to do is I'd like to send him deep sea diving with a cow on his back. Then let's see whether cows inhale and exhale oxygen,
Oxygen.
you know so that was my in terms of, so you cow on your back as your oxygen cylinder, right?
Got it.
So when
Yeah.
the yeah so uh, i- i- radio is also about trying to throw up imagery with words, and you imagine that, and it brings a smile to your face. So I did that with that piece of content. It's one of my favorite examples to give. So every piece of content, you're looking to say, what is that I'm adding to it when I put it out on air?
Perfect. So, yes, what would you like to tell all our listeners and viewers who are going to probably see now and later? Because usually what happens is Saturday evening is a very busy time for everybody. till now it was fine. Everybody were home, but now the lockdown has been removed till 9, and clubs are functional only till 9. So everybody is hitting every watering hole possible to go back home at 9. So
Hey, no,
I
what? Watering hole
they're
and all.
not.
They're not serving alcohol. Not serving alcohol.
They are
Not yet.
not yet.
Not yet.
But
Alcohol hasn't
Bob,
started yet.
I've seen a couple of places open.
They're probably
Clubs are
serving only
open.
food. They're serving only
Yeah.
food. I don't think they're serving the alcohol. I think they're serving
Okay.
beer in some places, but yeah, that's it.
Maybe okay.
Right.
Good for the rest of the world.
Yeah, correct. What message I'll give you, Prithvi? What message? I'm. I. Okay, so I think
A positive
I've been,
message.
I've been lucky in many ways. Lucky, I've also had the opportunity to wait. To wait for good things to come my way.
Come by.
And there's this thing about you need 10,000 hours to become an expert at anything. And it's about just, I think, just sticking to practicing what you do know so that you get better and better at it. So when the opportunity does arise, you're
You're ready
completely
for it.
prepared to grab it with both hands.
Absolutely.
I think one of the things that I've learned is that this luck is what is luck? Luck is when preparedness meets opportunity, right? If you're
Correct.
not prepared when the opportunity comes your way, then you're not going to be able
You're
to
not
grab
there.
it. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. I wish we had more time and we could talk forever, but we are restricting this to 1 hour so that people also say that fine, I can watch this. I know 30 minutes, 15 minutes is the time duration for people's
Attention
attention
span.
span today.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, but this is going to be there on air. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on Insta and Facebook. So all friends of yours, or friends of ours, they can all watch this anytime they want. Thank you so much. This was a wonderful chat with you. I know we haven't seen each other for many years.
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
Hope to get some opportunities to work again. Let's do that.
Yes,
Let's
yes.
do that. Thank you very much. This event is brought to you by Madhur Pharma. Though, do you have any question that you would like to ask for people to answer?
Oh yeah. That I have like a
Quiz.
trivia thing, right? So we
Yeah, like
we
a
all
trivia
hear
thing.
like yeah, we all hear like 95 FM, 98.3 FM. That's what we listen to private radio. What is this FM? What is the full form of FM? Respond to that, and
Respond to
Prithvi
that,
has
and you get a
a
hamper from Madhur Pharma and Research Laboratories. It's a wonderful hamper package that will come to you. You can send a message on the Final Side page, and you will we'll pick a winner and we'll send them to you. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you so much. See
pleasure,
you
man. Thank
soon.
you for having me. Take care, man.
Yep.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.